Well, good afternoon, St Helens. Mr. Spence here. It's great to see you. Whether you've been at school today or whether you're learning at home, I hope you've had a great first day. It's been busy in school. I've moved my office into this rather amazing room, the Rainbow Room. You might remember that if you've been in school. That's because there's teachers everywhere, recording lessons, all kinds of different things. So it's great to see you. I hope you've had a good day. Now, Mr. Chaplin and I have been thinking. We thought, wouldn't it be great if over this lockdown we got to know a few favourite stories? And one of our favourite authors, he's a bit of a classic author, is Roald Dahl. And we got a little book here, Roald Dahl Heroes and Villains. And Mr. Chaplin and I are going to try and record a chapter for you every night. So 5 o'clock on YouTube, and we're going to be releasing the next video. So they'll go live at 5 o'clock every day. And you can follow the story. You could do it with your family. You can do it by yourself. But we hope you really enjoy it. And this book's all about some of the different heroes and the villains. And in the heroes corner, you've got Inventive George, who stands up to his grisly old grunion of a grandma by mixing a potion like no other. It's an amazing story. It's called George's Marvellous Medicine. In the heroes corner, there's also an unlikely team of window cleaners whose bravery and quick thinking lead to extraordinary events, and that's the giraffe, the Pelly, and me. It's a brilliant story. In the villains corner, well, two of my favourite villains, Mr. and Mrs. Twit. They're a horrible team, a husband and wife who are as horrible to each other as they are to everybody else. And then there's a crafty crocodile who has secret plans and clever tricks to help him catch a child for his lunch. So the 4 stories we're going to look at through lockdown, we're going to start with the enormous crocodile. Then we're going to read the giraffe, the Pelly, and me. Then the Twits. Then George's Marvellous Medicine. And just each night, we'll just read a chapter. It's not going to take very long at all, just a few minutes. And if you follow along, you can follow the story as we go. So I hope you really enjoy it. You can get in touch with us through Dojo. Maybe share any thoughts you've got. But this is the first one we're going to do, the enormous crocodile. I'm just going to try and show it. I'm not very good at this, but I'll hopefully get better. There he is. And I'm going to read you the story. So it's called The Enormous Crocodile. In the biggest, brownest, muddiest river in Africa, 2 crocodiles lay with their heads just above the water. One of the crocodiles was enormous and the other one was not so big. Do you know what I would like for my lunch today? The enormous crocodile asked. No, the not so big one said. What? The enormous crocodile grinned and he showed hundreds, you can see them here, hundreds of shiny white teeth. For my lunch today, he said, I would like to eat a nice, juicy child. I never eat children, said the not so big one. I only eat fish. Ho, 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 said the enormous crocodile. I bet if you saw a fat, juicy little child paddling in the water over there at this very moment, you gulp him up in one gollop. No, I wouldn't, said the not so big one. Children are too tough and too chewy. They're tough, chewy, nasty, and bitter. Tough and chewy, said the enormous crocodile. Nasty and bitter? What awful tommy rot you talk. They're juicy and yummy. Oh, they taste so bitter, said the not so big one. You have to cover them with sugar before you can eat them. Children are bigger than fish, said the enormous crocodile. You get bigger helpings. You're greedy, said the not so big one. The greediest croc in the whole river. I'm the bravest croc in the whole river, said the enormous crocodile. I'm the only one who dares to leave the water and go through the jungle to the town to look for little children to eat. You've only done that once, snorted the not so big one. And what happened then? They all saw you coming and they ran away. Oh, but today when I go, they won't see me at all, said the enormous crocodile. Of course they'll see you, the not so big one said. You're so enormous and ugly, they'll see you from miles away. Well, the enormous crocodile grinned again, and his terrible sharp teeth sparkled like knives in the sun. Nobody will see me, he said, because this time I've thought up secret plans and clever tricks. Clever tricks, said the not so big one. You've never done anything clever in your whole life. You're the stupidest croc on the whole river. I'm the cleverest croc on the whole river, the enormous crocodile said. For my lunch today, I shall feast upon a fat, juicy little child while you lie here in the river feeling hungry. Goodbye. Well, the enormous crocodile swam to the side of the river and he crawled out of the water. A gigantic creature was standing in the slimy, oozy mud on the riverbank. It was Humpy Rumpy, the hippopotamus. "Hello, hello," said Humpy Rumpy. "Where on earth are you off to at this time of day?" "Well, I've got secret plans and clever tricks," said the crocodile. "Oh dear," said Humpy Rumpy. "I bet you're going to do something horrible." The enormous crocodile grinned at Humpy Rumpy and said, "I'm going to fill my hungry, empty tummy with something yummy, 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 yummy." "What's so yummy?" said Humpy Rumpy. "Try to guess," said the crocodile. "It's something that walks on two legs." You don't mean," said Humpy Rumpy, you don't really mean that you're going to eat a little child?" "Of course I am," said Crocodile. "Oh, you horrid, greedy, grumptious brute," said Humpy Rumpy. I hope you get caught and cooked and turned into crocodile soup." Well, the enormous crocodile laughed out loud at Humpy Rumpy, and then he waddled off into the jungle. And there you can see the crocodile with Humpy Rumpy. Look at all of those teeth. Inside the jungle, he met Trunky the elephant, and Trunky was nibbling leaves from the top of a tall tree, and he didn't notice the crocodile at first. There you can see him there. So the crocodile, look at him, bit him on the leg. "Ow!" said Trunky in a deep voice. "Who did that?" "Oh, it's you, you beastly crocodile. Why don't you go back to the big brown muddy river where you belong?" "I've got secret plans and clever tricks," said the crocodile. "You mean you've got nasty plans and nasty tricks," said Trunky. "You've never done a nice thing in your life." Well, the enormous crocodile grinned up at Trunky and said, "I'm off to find a yummy child for lunch. Keep listening and you'll hear the bones go crunch." "Oh, you wicked beast," said Trunky. "Oh, you foul and filthy fiend. I hope you get squashed and squished and sizzled and boiled up into crocodile stew." Well, the enormous crocodile laughed out loud and disappeared into the thick jungle. A bit further on, he met Mugglewump, the monkey. Mugglewump was sitting in a tree, eating nuts. "Hello, Crocky," said Mugglewump. "What are you up to now?" "I've got secret plans and clever tricks," said the crocodile. "Would you like some nuts?" asked Mugglewump. "I've got better things to eat than nuts," sniffed the crocodile. "I don't think there is anything better than nuts," said Mugglewump. "Ah," said the crocodile, "the sort of things that I'm going to eat have fingers, toenails, arms and legs and feet." Well, Mugglewump went pale and began to shake all over. "You aren't really going to gobble up a child, are you?" he said. "Of course I am," said Crocodile. "Clothes and all. They taste better with their clothes on." "Oh, you horrid, hoggish croc," cried Mugglewump. "You slimy creature. I hope the buttons and buckles all stick in your throat and choke you to death." Well, the crocodile grinned up at Mugglewump and said, "I eat monkeys too." And quick as a flash, with one bite of his huge jaws, he bit through the tree. You can see it there, that Mugglewump was sitting on. I'm just going to hold it up so you've got a good view. And down it came, but just in time, Mugglewump jumped into the next tree and swung away through the branches. Well, a bit further on, the enormous crocodile met the roly-poly bird. And the roly-poly bird, you can see him here. There he is there. Was building a nest in an orange tree. "Hello there, enormous crocodile," said the roly-poly bird. "We don't often see you up here in the jungle." "Ah," said the crocodile, "I've got secret plans and clever tricks." "I hope it's not something nasty," sang the roly-poly bird. "Nasty," cried the crocodile. "Of course it's not nasty. It's delicious. It's luscious. It's super. It's muscious. It's duper. It's better than rotten old fish. You mash it and munch it. You chew it and crunch it. It's lovely to hear it go squish." "It must be berries," said the roly-poly bird, "because berries are my favourite food in the whole world. Maybe raspberries or maybe strawberries." Well, the enormous crocodile laughed so much his teeth rattled together like pennies in a money box. "Crocodiles don't eat berries," he said. "We eat little boys and girls, and sometimes we eat roly-poly birds as well." You can see them there. And let's see what's going to happen to the poor roly-poly bird. Not a very nice crocodile, is he? Well, very quickly the crocodile reached up and snapped his jaws at the roly-poly bird. He just missed the bird, fortunately, but he managed to catch hold of the long, beautiful feathers in the tail. The roly-poly bird gave a shriek of terror and shot straight up in the air, leaving its tail feathers behind the enormous crocodile's mouth. There's some of the feathers there. At last, the enormous crocodile came out of the other side of the jungle into the sunshine. He could see the town not far away. Ho, ho, he said, talking aloud to himself. Ha ha, that walk through the jungle has made me hungrier than ever. One child isn't going to be nearly enough for me today. I won't be full up until I've eaten at least 3 juicy children. Well, he started to creep forward